ministry today. I am coach and evangelist Ricardo Miller. I love helping ministers and ministry leaders thrive in what God has called them to do. For more than 25 years, I've had the privilege of working in ministry. And one of the joy that I can say after 25 years, I'm not burned out. I'm just as excited as I was some 28 years ago. With more than 25 years of being in the ministry, doing church work, it is with great joy and delight for me to be able to say, I now want to go about even more helping churches, not only here in the United States, but around the world. Now, I've had the privilege of doing this for many years, and of late, I felt led to intensify the effort. Why? Because I believe that there are a lot of churches that are needing help, not because they are not called to win a great community and ultimately influence their cities, is because a lot of times the workers aren't equipped for the ministry. I believe it's important that we equip our workers for the ministry. A lot of churches actually are closing their doors. A lot of churches, their numbers aren't growing. A lot of churches, they're not finding that people aren't being attracted to the doors of the church like they were in years past. Well, one of the things that I believe is very, very important as I've been teaching these small snippet of teachings, because not only digitally I want to provide this content, but in person, I'm doing these training and equipping sessions at churches across the country because I want to see churches thrive. I want to see leaders doing well in what God has called them to do. Now, I know that there are a lot of pastors who have started their churches or even take over a church that their heart is to win their community and influence the world for Jesus. But unfortunately, the team around them don't quite get it. Let me say it again. Oftentimes, it's the team around them that don't quite get it. And what I found to be true is smart, thriving, healthy churches, they are comfortable, they're willing, they're okay with bringing in people to help their people. Yeah, right? Bringing in people to help equip the people to do the work of the ministry. Over the years, especially after the pandemic, I've noticed that there is a massive drop in the quality of ministry that a lot of churches are bringing to the forefront to serve their community. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of churches operating in excellence at the highest level. There are a lot of churches, but unfortunately, there are so much more churches that are doing just the bare minimum. Excellence is in who they are. And how I know excellence is in who they are, they're not evaluating and assessing what is excellence. Excellence in ministry matters more now than ever. Now, excellence is like art. It's in the eye of the beholder. And I believe for those of you who are leaders, be it that you're an usher, be it that you're a worship leader, be it that you're over risk and safety, you're in the media team, wherever you're doing ministry, youth ministry or children's ministry, you may be saying we operate in the spirit of excellence. But the question is, to which degree do you call excellent? There are some people who say, I'm operating in the spirit of excellence, but it is a low level of excellence. On my chart of 1 to 10, 10 being phenomenal and 1 being poor, a lot of times if you were raised in an environment that was a 1 and now you're operating at a 3, you start to feel, we are a people of excellence. Well, the truth is, yes, you're doing well because you're doing better than where you came from. You're doing better than what you were accustomed to. But the truth is, there is more growth and development that can come to you and your team to ensure that you're operating at a greater level of excellence. Because if you're at a 3, there's room for you to become a 4, and then a 5, and then a 6. Because excellence, there's always room for improvement when we think about the term excellence. Now, we live in a day where a lot of people in ministry, they're lazy. They just do the bare minimum, and then they want to reach a lost and dying world that is oversaturated with excellence. If you've ever been to a new school that is built, it's built excellent. Have you ever been to a nice new hotel that's been built? It's excellently ran. You go to these airports, man, excellent. You go to these car dealership, excellent. You go to these amusement park for kids, excellent. We go to the church, and oftentimes we don't see excellence. We see the bare minimum. And a lot of these people who show up at church, they work in an environment where the standard of excellence is at a whole nother level, but they come to the church and they lower the quality. They lower the standard, even though they like excellent. They're not bringing excellent. With that said, I want to encourage you to make a commitment to be excellent in ministry. If you're watching this for the very first time, share this with someone and say, you know what? We need our children's ministry to constantly be growing in excellence. We need our ushers to be excellent. We need our greeters to be excellent. Now, here's what I want you to do. Don't only accept what you call excellent. I want you to go and evaluate and assess the next level of excellence to which you are closely connected to. In other words, someone is doing it better than you, and you can learn from them. And that's okay, because it's the kingdom. There's no competition in the kingdom. There is no competition in the kingdom. So there is someone doing it better than you, and you can learn from them. So excellence in ministry reflects our dedication to God and the people we serve. Colossians says this in Colossians chapter 3, verse 23. It says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart. It says this, what's this? Whatever you do, do it with all of your heart. Now, I believe to truly honor God, we must meet the needs of others. We must thrive to do ministry in excellence. So 3 things I want to allow you to be able to pass this on to your team. If you're serving in ministry, this is a good video to share with some different team leaders to say, hey, you know what? There's always room for improvement, because we're a people of excellence, right? So these 3 things will help your leaders out if they're trying to run their respective areas of ministry. Number 1, excellence honors God. Excellence honors God. When we give our best, we reflect God's nature and draw closer to him. God wants us to do our best. So make a commitment to do your best. I heard one guy told me one time, he says, Pastor Miller, I've done my best. And I say, thank you. I really appreciate you've done your best. Now I said, next weekend, let's aim to do better. He said, huh? I told you I did my best. I said, your best was your best. But I want you to know your best can be improved. Your best can be improved upon. So don't just settle for having done your best. Please know, when you're operating with the spirit of excellence, today you may have done your best. But please note that your best can be improved upon, because excellence honors God. Next one is excellence builds credibility. High standard attract people to ministry and foster trust within the community. People love a ministry that's thriving. You're over the grounds facility, make sure the lawn is taken care of. Make sure the trash is taken up. There's no trash around the facilities, no spider webs and stuff. You know what I mean? The bathroom is nicely aired out. Go to the church. Years ago when I first started the ministry, one of the things Bishop Wells would have us to do was we would go at the church on Saturdays. We would open up the windows and open up the doors and allow the church to air out, because some of you know some churches are closed all week. And because they're closed all week, and if it rained that week, and because nobody came, sometimes nobody vacuumed it out before the service, and it starts to smell. That's not excellent. Come on, it gets all spider webby up. That's not excellent. Nobody takes out the trash right after the service or a day after, and it stayed there all weekend and then all week. Come on, man. That's not excellent. And so what happens is a lot of churches are wondering why they're not attracting people. It's because they're not doing ministry right. They're not doing ministry to the best of their ability. Remember, excellence builds credibility. People like going places where it's nice. And excellence is nice. Last but not least, guys, excellence expands reach. Excellence expands reach. By continuously improving, which excellence does, we can adapt to new seasons, connect with more people, and meet their evolving need. All right. Years ago, it was all about having envelopes. Now it's really more about having QR codes. Years ago, it's really all about printing out stuff for the weekend. Now it's about making sure that our website and our digital content is up to date and made available to people so that they can check on their phones, their tablets, and their computers to see what's going on at the church. Make sure that you're not cutting corners. Make sure that you're doing it in a way that says, I'm not competing with ministries that are bigger than us or bigger than me, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to learn from ministries that are bigger than me or bigger than us, because there's always room for improvement. So if your excellence on a scale of 1 to 10 is a 3, you don't have to compete or compare yourself with a 10. That's too far ahead of you. What you want to do is, if you're a 3, you can look at someone far ahead of you and then do the work to become a 4, then do the work to become a 5, then do the work to become a 6. And before you know it, you'll be operating at a very high level, and it will no longer be based on your previous understanding of nice. It'll be based on the demand of nice within the day you are living in. A lot of people are outdated when it comes to excellence, because what they once considered is nice, what they once considered was excellence, is actually now outdated. And that's the reason why one of my videos, I talk about being a lifelong learner. So if you're going to do ministry in an excellent way, make sure that you are a lifelong learner. If you're in children's ministry, if you're in youth ministry, excellence is a must, because these kids today will call you out. And sometimes if they can't call you out, they won't show up. And that's the way they call you out, by not attending your church or participating in your activities, because it ain't nice. It's not excellent. So let's aim for excellence. Once again, I have a great joy every week to work with teams and leaders to help them raise the bar on their respective area of ministry. If you would like for me to come to your church, go ahead and go to my website and say, hey, I want to book Ricardo to come talk to our team. I want to set up a Saturday training. I want him to come and spend the weekend with us. That's what I do, guys. I love doing ministry. I love serving leaders. Connect with me today. God bless you. Bye-bye.